Whoa, Carl, you better watch out. You're not gonna like this girl when she's angry.
Just give me 1 second. Just 1 second.
Hey, Carl, as they say in Martian, you better vamoose.
It's vámonos.
Hello, my name is Jeremy, and I'm one of the creators of Dexter Stardust Adventures in Outer Space. As we do with each devlog, we're going to talk a little bit about what we accomplished this week in Dexter Stardust Season 1, or the first game, and Dexter Stardust Season 2, or the second game. The first game is a point-and-click adventure, and the second game is a pixel art platformer. So let's take a look at what we got done this week. In Dexter Stardust Season 1, this week I worked on dialogue. Dialogue was something that I had been putting off, and what I'm referring to specifically is the dialogue of some of the non-playable characters, or NPCs. And obviously, I cannot perform for every single NPC in the game. No one wants to hear that. But what I can do is I can perform for the NPCs that are like computers and radios and things like that. I can change my voice a little bit or add some distortion or turn the pitch up and down so that my voice appears to be different with each character. So I'd like to show you some of the characters that I recorded voiceovers for this past week. Take a look.
What can I get you? As a native Martian, I've never seen anything that scary. In other news, next week across the many planets and moons in our system, we hold a 20-year memorial for our lost home. We visited Vries in peace, but they did not reciprocate. For reasons still unknown, the Vriesians sent an army of robots to Earth who scorched the surface with their superior technology. Billions lost their lives on V-Day.
E minor is one of the most eerily beautiful minor chords that can be played on the ukulele. Place your fingers in a step-like pattern to give your melodies a haunting and memorable addition. Give the E minor chord a try today.
The Martian bog monster has been seen by so few people that some believe it doesn't even exist. Where did this otherworldly creature come from? Some scientists believe it. Bienvenido al Taco Shack. Can Taco Bot take your order? The saucer cannot be activated until all 3 radio huts have been activated. Please activate all 3 radio huts in order to triangulate your position.
And we got a little bit more press this week. Last week we talked about an article that was written up by IndieFence, but this week we had an article written on AdventureGamers.com, an excellent article that was written by Jack over at that website. So thank you so much for writing the article, Jack, and I look forward to sending you a finished copy of the game when it's done. This week in Dexter Stardust Season 2, I worked on the dialogue system. Not only did I need to make sure that it was operational, but first I needed to decide what it looked like. And I took Wednesday off. My wife and I, Joy, we went to the beach, and while I was at the beach, while I did enjoy swimming, I took some time to sketch out some ideas for the dialogue system. And it really gave me an idea of how I needed to redesign the entire user interface that was in-game, meaning the HP bar and the collectibles bar, and then the dialogue system, how it needed to feel harmonious together. And then I took that back, I sketched up a bunch of ideas, I reworked things. It took a little while, but I ended up landing on something that I really, really like and I think looks very visually pleasing. And once it looked good in the game, then I needed to make sure that it worked properly. But in order for it to work properly, I had to write some code. And as you guys know, I'm not much of a coder. I typically focus more on the story and the music and the art and those types of elements. So I use pre-existing assets or assets that you could purchase off the Unity store, and I use those. I try to extend them as much as I possibly can so that I don't have to spend my time coding. And I used Adventure Creator for Dexter Stardust Season 1, which is the point and click, and it met every single one of my needs. I never had to make any compromises on what I did in the game. However, in Dexter Stardust Season 2, the pixel art platformer, there isn't one asset that has every single thing that I need. But the asset that I'm using is called Rex Engine. Unfortunately, the creator of Rex Engine has stopped support of that asset because of an excellent job that he got, so that's totally understandable. But what's great about the Rex Engine is that it has exactly what we need when it comes to the game mechanics, the physics, jumping, platforming, all of those, the enemies, AI systems for enemies. I don't have to code any of that. It's already coded and it's super easy to use. The only issue is that for some things, it does have, it is lacking some important elements that I need for this project. It does have a dialogue system, but the issue is that that dialogue system doesn't have any audio components associated with it. So it has a graphic that appears and some text that appears, but you cannot assign an audio component to each one of those text boxes. So what I needed to work on this week was creating in the script, in the different scripts that control those different components, a place where I can put audio, where I can put audio clips and then assign them to those different text boxes. So that's one of the things that I worked on this week. But as someone who doesn't code and is more of a glorified copier and paster of code, I was able to figure out exactly which different scripts that come with Rex Engine control all of the dialogue actions. And there were 3 different scripts. There's an NPC script, a dialogue manager, and then a text box script. And all of those scripts work together to produce what you see on the screen when you interact with a non-playable character and dialogue appears. And there was a lot of different code that I had to place in each of those scripts for the audio to work. And we could take a look at what that looks and sounds like now that the dialogue is completed.
Buenos dias, Dexter and Aurora!
I'm Dexter, and this is what it's like when I'm talking. But now I'm mad. I can also smile when I'm happy. This is a happy game after all. Or maybe it's actually a sad and tragic game. That's definitely something to think about. Wait, don't go yet. I have to tell you that. I'm still running into an issue with this, and it needs to be rectified. And that issue is that when the dialogue is completed, so it has gone through the very first page of dialogue, so to speak, what happens is the last line from the previous page plays over the first line of the current page playing, and they play at the same time. Wait, now I'm don't mad. Go yet. I have to tell you that. And then, if you interact with it a third time, that final audio clip is playing twice, once over itself, which increases the audio volume and distorts it a little bit. But now I'm mad. I have no idea what causes that to happen, but it happens and it's really weird and I need to figure it out. I definitely wish I had some help on this. Maybe I'll look to a forum and maybe post an issue that I'm having. Maybe somebody knows exactly how to fix this error, but maybe through trial and error, I can figure it out myself. Who knows? We'll see, right? So that's everything that we accomplished this week in Dexter Stardust Season 1 and Dexter Stardust Season 2. Next week for Dexter Stardust Season 1, which is the point-and-click adventure, it's going to be really interesting. I have some friends who have recording equipment at their house, and they have agreed to play some of the other NPCs. So I need to coordinate that recording and get those recordings finished, and then put them into the game. But Jack at Adventure Gamers, when he reached out to me by email, he asked me if I had any poster art. And I realized I don't really have any poster art for Dexter Stardust Season 1, and I can't believe that I have postponed that until this very moment. So I think I might sketch out some ideas for what a poster for Dexter Stardust Season 1 could look like. And I need to make sure that it's modular, that it can work both horizontally and vertically, in a square and a rectangle. So I need to figure out what those different components would look like. I want them to be very dynamic, a little retro, but we'll see exactly what style we go with. And then in Dexter Stardust Season 2, I'm going to be working on that dialogue system again, trying to make sure that I fix that audio error. I hope I can fix it. Maybe not. We'll see. But I do want to work on building out some of the other NPCs that are included at the very beginning of the game, drawing their sprites, seeing what they look like, also drawing the character portraits that appear in the dialogue. That's something that's really interesting, and it breathes life into the game in so many ways when you see that character portrait appear. And I need to just refine a few more things, and maybe there'll be a few more surprises with Dexter Stardust Season 2. We'll have to wait and see until next week. So thanks again for watching. Everybody, take care and stay safe out there. See you in the next devlog.